Some stars are already gone, but their light still wanders toward you. It travels across the dark, patient and unhurried, whispering the story of its birth through the quiet fabric of space. That light began its journey before there were cities, before there were words, before there was you. And yet, it's reaching your eyes now. That is time, softly bending itself so you can glimpse the past without ever leaving the present. Breathe in. You are sharing a single moment with everything that has ever been. Imagine floating just outside the orbit of Earth, where night is endless and blue horizons curve away beneath you. Down there, clocks tick, hearts beat, oceans move with the moon. Up here, there is no real measure of hours, only sunlight and shadow taking turns. Scientists call time a dimension, but it feels more like a tide. It carries everything, stars, atoms, thoughts, toward their next unfolding. Each instant replaces the one before, yet leaves behind faint ripples, like footprints on a beach that never truly disappears. The ancient Egyptians once believed time flowed in two directions. One they called Nea, the cycle of days, seasons, rebirth. The other, Jet, the still eternity beneath change. Together they said, time is both motion and rest. We live inside that dance. Even your heartbeat follows it. The rhythm between two pulses, contraction, release, is a tiny clock of muscle and electricity. Each beat measures your existence in intervals too small to notice. Yet without them, the universe of you would fall silent. Every living thing has its own metronome. Trees pulse with sugar as light turns to night. Jellyfish drift in ocean currents that rise and fall with lunar seconds. A glacier slides 1 millimeter a day, and still it obeys the same pulse that governs galaxies. If you could see time, it wouldn't be a straight line. It would shimmer and fold, like silk stirred by breath. Einstein once said that time and space are interwoven, that gravity bends them together. That means your body, with its mass and warmth, actually warps time itself by the smallest fraction. Every second you exist, the universe curves around you just a little, and that means no two beings experience exactly the same moment. On the International Space Station, astronauts aged slightly slower than people on Earth. The difference is less than a heartbeat, but it's real. Time stretches for them, uncoiling like a ribbon, while for us, it gathers and folds. Even mountains feel this. Their massive bodies bend time downward by the faintest degree. Deep in their valleys, seconds pass just a little slower than they do on their peaks. Time, it seems, listens to wait, but not everything obeys. At the quantum edge of existence, particles flicker in and out of being. They don't flow from past to future. They vibrate in probabilities, as though undecided. Physicists call this the quantum foam. I like to think of it as time's breath, quietly inhaling and exhaling all possibilities. And yet, from this chaos, order blooms. The arrow of time emerges from simple beginnings to complex forms, from stardust to sentience. Why it only moves forward remains one of science's gentlest mysteries. Some say it's because of entropy, the gradual softening of structure, the way ice melts or memories fade. Others say it's the universe learning to let go. When you recall your past, your mind doesn't play a recording. It rebuilds the memory from scattered neurons every single time. That means your memories are alive, reshaped with each retelling. The past is not fixed, it's rewritten by the moment you remember it. So, in a way, time flows backward whenever you dream. Dreaming itself might be the brain's rehearsal for eternity, looping through images until they dissolve into meaning. In your sleep, you move through time differently, faster, slower, or not at all. Perhaps that's why dreams feel endless. The brain's internal clock loosens its grip, and you drift through landscapes without dawns or clocks, unbound. Even the atoms in your body tell time. The vibrations of cesium atoms define the international second -9,192,631,770 oscillations, precise and constant. Those oscillations beat in every GPS satellite, every smartphone, every pulse of the global heartbeat that connects us all. But inside your cells, time is kept by quieter means. The circling of mitochondria, the fold and unfold of proteins, the rhythmic pulse of circadian light. Your body knows when to rest and when to rise. It's been listening to the Earth's rotation since before you were born. When sunlight fades, melatonin begins its drift. Your cells dim their lamps, your breathing slows, and you begin to glide along the gentle current of night. And here's something soft to carry with you. Every second that passes is not lost, it's transformed. Each moment becomes part of the great archive of what was which continues to shape what will be. Nothing in the universe truly vanishes. Not light, not matter, not even time itself. You are living in the shimmer between them, a single frame in an infinite film. And somewhere, right now, light from a dying star continues its journey just to touch your eyes. Rest here, let that thought settle. In part 2, we'll drift deeper into the way time bends around memory, and how the brain quietly builds its own universe of hours and dreams. Part 2. The memory of light. Every photograph you've ever seen is a slice of time, a small captured echo of light that once bounced off a face, a leaf, or a wave. But what the camera records is already gone before the shutter closes. Light, so fast we can barely imagine it, still takes time to reach its mark. Every image is a message from the past, even the ones of your own smile. That means the person you see in your photos no longer exists in that precise way. The atoms have moved, replaced, renewed, and yet the memory stays. Light remembers us. Imagine drifting through the corridors of your own mind. Each thought flickers like a star, bright, brief, vanishing into the next. Scientists suggest that memory is not a single place, but a constellation, scattered neurons lighting up across the brain, signaling one another in pulses of electric dawn. When you recall a moment, a scent, a sound, the color of a summer morning, those same regions spark to life again. Your mind rebuilds the scene molecule by molecule, as if time were clay in its hands, but it never shapes it exactly the same way twice. Time and memory share a secret language. The hippocampus, deep in your brain, acts like a quiet archivist, organizing, labeling, storing the countless seconds that slip through your day, but it doesn't record them all equally. Emotional moments, awe, laughter, grief, leave deeper grooves, while ordinary instants drift like mist through the cracks. That's why childhood feels endless in hindsight. When everything is new, every second leaves an imprint. As we grow older, the brain stops recording every detail. It summarizes, condenses, trusts familiarity. Days blur, months quicken, time seems to accelerate, not because it truly does, but because the brain stops measuring it so finely. You can feel it if you listen closely. Notice how a single minute stretches while you wait, yet collapses when you reminisce. Waiting activates the mind's clocks. The brain tracks every tick. Remembering invites only the brightest sparks to return. The rest dissolves. So, time is not what the clock says, it's what attention decides. Even the planet keeps its own record of moments. Ice cores from Antarctica trap bubbles of air older than civilization, whispers of climates that breathed before humans walked the earth. Tree rings count summers, like heartbeats, each one a different story of sunlight and rain. Coral reefs build their skeletons one thin layer per night, tracing the lunar calendar without ever learning to name it. All around you, the world keeps its diaries quiet. There's another kind of memory woven into the universe, the way starlight curves as it passes by gravity. Astronomers call this gravitational lensing. Imagine a galaxy bending light from another galaxy far behind it. That light may have started billions of years ago, now rerouted, stretched, delayed. When it finally reaches our telescopes, we see both past and present superimposed, a cosmic photograph, printed multiple times at once. It means that somewhere out there, an image of the universe is still unfolding in slow motion. Time itself, caught in the act of remembering. Closer to home, your body keeps time in quieter ways. Every night as you drift to sleep, the glymphatic system begins to hum, a network that flushes waste from your brain like gentle tides washing ashore. It operates mostly when you're dreaming, when neurons rest from waking thought. In those hours, your mind is literally cleansing itself of the day. That may be why sleep feels like surrender. You're letting time do its maintenance work, polishing the edges of memory, storing what matters, dissolving what doesn't. And the dreams, they are the afterimages, bright echoes of moments being filed away. Even light itself remembers its path. When it passes through glass or water, it slows slightly, bending to the medium's rhythm. A photon that entered a crystal millions of years ago may still be bouncing within it, trapped, delayed by infinitesimal reflections. The universe has no hurry. Every beam of light eventually finds its way home. You too are built from photons, slowed and captured atoms that once shimmered in other suns. now steady inside your skin. You are a memory of light made flesh. So tonight, when you close your eyes, imagine the film reel of your life, not as a straight line, but as a spiral, always circling back through echoes of who you were. The laughter of someone you miss, the sound of rain you once watched fall. These are your gravitational lenses, bending the past into the present. You are not moving through time. You are woven into it. Rest in that thought. Let it anchor you, softly. In part 3, we'll drift deeper, exploring how time breathes within nature itself, in trees, oceans, and the quiet pulse of the earth beneath your feet. Part 3, the slow pulse of the earth deep beneath your feet. Time moves differently. Every mountain, every grain of sand, is part of a slow, breathing rhythm the planet keeps, one we can barely sense, but that has been steady for billions of years. A volcano's eruption might last a day, but the mountain that sleeps beneath it is centuries in the making. Rocks fold like paper under invisible weight. Rivers cut valleys one heartbeat at a time. The world is never still, only patient. You are walking on an ancient clock that counts in tides and tectonics. Imagine lying beside the ocean at night. The tide sighs and then exhales away. The same rhythm that's been repeating since the moon was born from the Earth's own body. The moon pulls the seas like a lover's breath, and the planet responds with waves that move the shorelines, inch by inch, year by year. Scientists say the moon is drifting away from us, slowly about the width of a fingernail each year. It was once closer, and the tides were enormous, wild enough to carve continents. Over eons, the dance softened, the moon learned balance, the earth learned to be calm. That means every time you watch a wave break, you're seeing the echo of that ancient embrace. The two still pull on one another, silently, across a gulf of space. Trees keep time to each ring within their trunks is a whisper from a different year, wide for the wet seasons, narrow for the lean ones. In those lines, scientists can read the memory of droughts, of fires, of years when the sky filled with ash. Some pines in Nevada are over 5,000 years old. They were seedlings when the pyramids were young. Their roots remember Ice Age. Their branches have seen the rise and fall of civilizations. And while their lifespans make ours look brief, to the earth itself, even a bristlecone pine is a momentary spark. But not all clocks tick forward in the same rhythm. Coral reefs grow by the light of the moon, building their calcium spires in nightly layers, a diary of lunar time. In the Arctic, lichens spread so slowly that they are used to date the stones they grow on. And in the desert, the sand's whisper is a rhythm of its own. Dunes migrate like slow clouds, marking centuries as they shift and sigh. Everything that grows listens to a different metronome, yet all of them keep the same faith, that change, however slow, is the heartbeat of life. Even the wind measures time in its own way. It sculpts mountains, moves seeds, and carries stories from one shore to another. The same molecules of air that once brushed the wings of the first birds might now brush your skin. They have circled the world countless times, learning the geography of memory. That air carries echoes of volcanic smoke, forest breath, the laughter of storms. Inhaling now, you draw in ancient weather. Exhaling, you add your own verse to the planet's rhythm. The Earth's magnetic field hums to invisible, constant, and slow. It shifts its poles every few 100,000 years, turning the compass of the world upside down. When it does, particles from the sun weave ribbons of light through the sky, auroras that shimmer like living curtains. Those lights are time, made visible, the sun's heartbeat meeting the Earth's shield, creating color from magnetism. People who lived 1,000 years ago watched those same veils dance, and someone, far in the future, will still watch them glow. In this, you are part of an unbroken line of witnesses. Even stones tell time. Atoms within them decay at predictable rates, giving scientists their clocks for deep history. Uranium turns to lead, carbon to ash, and in those transitions lies the story of the planet. Every fossil, every spark of coal, every crystal in your ring is a record of seconds, too vast for the mind to hold. But the rocks don't rush. They simply become. They wait for rivers to wear them down, for hands to uncover them, for light to wake their color. Time, for them, is a companion, not a command. And somewhere within all of this stillness, the planet breathes. Its crust flexes like lungs, earthquakes, mountain rises, gentle continental drift, 1 millimeter per year, one sigh every 1,000 lifetimes. You are part of that breath. Your pulse is the Earth's fastest echo, When you rest, you mirror its quiet cycle, expansion and release, gravity and surrender. So when the night feels too quick, remember, below the surface, time is still slow. It will wait for you to catch up. Rest here, for a moment. Feel the world turning under you, softly, without haste. In part 4, we'll drift deeper into the way time moves within living things, how every cell, heartbeat, and breath forms a rhythm that life itself listens to. Part 4, the clock beneath the skin. Your body is a cathedral of rhythms. Every cell, every pulse, every breath keeps time with an ancient orchestra you didn't know you were conducting. Even in your sleep, thousands of small clocks tick together, marking the rise and fall of your internal tides. The brain has a conductor, a tiny cluster of neurons called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, deep behind the eyes. It listens to light. When morning arrives, it whispers to the body, "Wake." When dusk settles, it hums the signal for rest. And through that steady hum, your body begins its quiet symphony of time. Your temperature changes by fractions through the day. Warmer in the afternoon, cooler just before dawn. Your heart beats a little slower while you dream. Your cells repair themselves in the night stillness. You don't have to command any of it. You simply are time in motion. Imagine zooming in beyond organs, beyond cells, into the spiral of DNA itself. Each twist of that molecule carries not just your genetic story, but also its own cadence of replication and renewal. Every few days, the lining of your stomach replaces itself. Every month, your skin grows new from within. Every decade, almost all your atoms are new, though you still feel like the same person. In that sense, you are not a static being but a rhythm of becoming, a pattern of time written in flesh. And then there's the heart. It doesn't tick like a metronome, it sings. The time between beats subtly changes as you breathe in and out. Scientists call this heart rate variability, but in truth, it's your body dancing with air. Inhale, and your heart quickens to feed the breath. Exhale, and it slows, a lullaby in muscle and blood. Even the heart listens to the rhythm of the world. Studies show that when two people sit quietly together, their heartbeats can begin to synchronize, aligning like pendulums in shared stillness. Time, it seems, can be shared between bodies. Plants keep time too. Even in darkness, their leaves rise and fall every 24 hours, following the unseen sun. When morning comes, they open, not because they see the light, but because they remember it. That memory of daylight lives inside their cells, in chemical circuits older than any animal. You and the plants breathe in tandem. They exhale what you need. You exhale what they drink. Two species, one clock, trading seconds in carbon and oxygen. Inside your blood, time is counted by hormones, melatonin, cortisol, adrenaline, rising and falling like tides. They tell you when to rest, when to wake, when to heal. Even when you cross the planet and the sun seems confused, your body carries its own map of hours. Jet lag isn't fatigue, it's your cells searching for lost time. Give them light, give them dark, they will find their rhythm again. The quietest clock of all lives in your brain's electrical storms. Neurons fire in patterns measured in milliseconds, a language of pulses that gives rise to thought, emotion, memory. The mind doesn't truly think in words or images. It beats, it vibrates, it hums in frequencies that match waves in nature. Alpha for calm, theta for dreams, delta for deep sleep. When your eyes grow heavy, your brain begins to slow its rhythm until it matches the Earth's low magnetic pulse, about 8 cycles per second. The same slow heartbeat that resonates in lightning, in ocean tides, in the quiet crackle of the atmosphere. You, the Earth, and the sky share a frequency. Even at rest, your body marks time in the smallest gestures, the flicker of an eyelid, the slow turn of a dream, the sigh that releases a day's worth of thought. These are the softest seconds, the ones no clock can measure, yet they hold more meaning than any hour. Your body knows the wisdom of patience. It has been keeping time since before you were conscious of it, syncing with the planet, with the stars. With all that breathes, time doesn't just pass through you, it is you. So tonight, as you lie still, remember this: every cell inside you is ticking in harmony with the rotation of the Earth. Every heartbeat is a tiny echo of cosmic rhythm. You are both the clock and the moment it measures. Let yourself match that tempo now. The slow pulse beneath your skin, the world turning gently below. Rest here. You are perfectly on time. In part 5, we'll drift deeper to explore how time flows through the cosmos itself. the slow birth and fading of stars, and how eternity measures its breaths. Part 5. The breath of the stars. Some stars are already ghosts. Their light still crosses the emptiness, traveling for millions of years, whispering from a body that no longer burns. Every photon you see tonight is a memory, a message written before humanity learned to dream. When you gaze at the night sky, you are not looking into space, you are looking into time. Imagine drifting beyond the thin veil of Earth's atmosphere, where silence reigns and light moves without sound. Around you, stars bloom like frozen embers, scattered through a darkness that is not empty, but full of radiation, of dust, of possibility. Time stretches here. 1 second can hold a century's worth of distance. A minute could cradle 1,000 lives. In the language of the cosmos, patience is the only constant. The oldest light we know still glows faintly in every direction. The cosmic microwave background, it's the afterglow of the Big Bang, the moment when the universe first learned to shine. That light has been traveling for 13.8 billion years, stretched by expansion until it hums as a soft radio whisper. You are surrounded by it now, though you can't feel it. Every particle in your body was once part of that radiant dawn. The atoms in your skin are descendants of explosions, supernova, that burned their lives to make yours possible. Some stars live fast and die young, collapsing in just a few million years. Others linger, dim and steady, for tens of billions, burning low and patient like monks of fire. Their lifetimes depend on their hunger. The more fiercely they burn, the sooner they fade. It's not so different from us. Moments of brilliance, flashes of emotion, short-lived but dazzling, then calm endurance, the quiet glow that lasts. Time, it seems, rewards those who know when to rest. Black holes, the universe's deepest wells, hold time captive. Near their edge, the event horizon, gravity becomes so strong that time itself slows to a crawl. A clock falling toward one would appear, to a distant observer, to stop entirely, frozen in its final instant. But for the clock itself, time goes on, falling forever, never reaching the bottom, moving through a reality where seconds stretch into eternity. It's not death, it's the universe's ultimate meditation. Even galaxies are slow dancers in this vast night. They drift, collide, merge, and reform like tides in a cosmic ocean. When two galaxies meet, their stars almost never crash. There is too much space between them. They simply pass through one another, stirring gravity's currents, reshaping themselves into new spirals. Each merger takes billions of years, longer than the history of life on Earth. Yet in that vastness, the laws remain gentle, consistent. Even destruction becomes creation in time's hands. Scientists believe that time itself began with the universe, that before the Big Bang there was no before. It's hard to imagine a world without sequence, without cause or memory. But perhaps, beyond our comprehension, time is not a river at all. Perhaps it is a field, everything existing at once, and we, like travelers, moving through its layers moment by moment. Every second you experience might already exist somewhere else, quietly waiting for you to arrive. Even starlight, patient as it is, can bend time's fabric. Massive objects, planets, stars, even you curve space just by existing. When light passes near them, it changes course, delayed by that curve. This is gravitational time dilation, proof that time does not flow evenly. Even across the same universe, in places of great mass, time slows. In empty space, it races freely. The cosmos breathes between those two rhythms. Think of it this way: right now, on some distant exoplanet orbiting a quiet red star, seconds are stretching differently. The beings who might live there experience moments unlike ours, and yet their time is as real as ours, just another version of the same universal song across galaxies. The tempo shifts, but the melody endures. When you look up tonight, remember this: every flicker of light is a story every shimmer is an ancient heartbeat still crossing eternity. And you, here, breathing in the dark, you are part of that same rhythm. The stars are not above you, they are within you, still burning softly in your blood, still whispering through the calcium in your bones. Rest now, in the quiet certainty that you are made of the universe's oldest light. In part 6, we'll drift further, exploring how time behaves in dreams and consciousness, and how the mind folds eternity into a single night's sleep. Part 6, the dream that bends time every night. You leave the measurable world behind. You close your eyes, and the seconds lose their edges. Minutes drift apart like mist, and the body releases its grip on the clock. In sleep, time becomes elastic, a soft current carrying you wherever thought wishes to go. You might dream for a heartbeat, yet wake believing you've lived an entire story, or sleep through the dark, only to awaken the feeling that no time has passed at all. Scientists have tried to measure. They've asked people to count within their dreams, to move their eyes as signals from the inner world to the outer. What they found is curious. The mind's sense of duration inside a dream almost matches real time, yet feels infinite. Because while the body sleeps, the brain stops marking the seconds. It begins to sculpt them. Dreams are the mind's art of time. Imagine standing in a dream where you can fly. You rise, and your heart forgets its rhythm. The physics of waking life no longer apply, because your brain has untied them. Regions that track order and logic rest, while imagination takes the wheel. The prefrontal cortex, the keeper of clocks, drifts into silence. Without that internal metronome, the mind can stretch a second into an eternity, or fold a lifetime into a blink. You experience not time's passage, but its shape. Even waking thought works this way. When you're fully present, painting, running, listening to rain, you enter what psychologists call flow. Hours dissolve into one seamless breath. The same chemicals that guide dreams, dopamine, serotonin, noradrenaline, flow through you then, bending time toward calm. So in a sense, dreaming is simply the deepest form of flow, the brain untethered from gravity. Memory, 2, rewrites time as you sleep. While you dream, the hippocampus replays fragments of your day, deciding what to keep and what to let fade. It files sensations, emotions, half-formed thoughts. The mind becomes a librarian sorting light. That's why you sometimes wake with answers to questions you didn't know you were still asking. Dreaming is the conversation between your past and your future. Children dream more vividly than adults. Their brains still swim in raw imagination, not yet disciplined by schedules or calendars. For them, time is fluid, like paint on water. Each day feels long because it's filled with newness. As we grow, routine compresses the hours. Surprise slows them again. Wonder is time's great dilator. The more awe we feel, the longer the moment lasts. Lucid dreamers, those who awaken within the dream, report that they can slow or even pause the flow of time at will. Some spin worlds from thought, some hover in light. They say that the key is awareness, to realize you're dreaming, yet remain calm. That awareness mirrors meditation, where the mind stays alert but unhurried, existing in a space beyond past or future. Perhaps both practices touch the same doorway, the one that opens onto timelessness. Every dream ends with a gentle forgetting. The chemical gates that preserve memory reopen only as you wake. That's why dreams fade like morning fog. Their hours, their skies, their stories all dissolve back into rhythm. But faint traces remain, shaping your mood, your creativity, your quiet sense of meaning. Even lost dreams leave fingerprints on the day. And so, in every night's sleep, you rehearse both life and death. The surrender of control, the slowing of breath, the trust that time will hold you gently until you return. Sleep is not absence, it's participation in the universe's oldest rhythm. You drift out, the world continues to turn, and when you wake, both of you have moved one heartbeat further through infinity. So tonight, if you dream, let time dissolve, let it ripple and breathe. You are safe within its tide. In part 7, we'll drift deeper into the strange places where time breaks its own rules. Déjà vu, precognition, and the loops of memory that hint at something beyond linear life. Part 7, the loops within the mind. Sometimes, a moment feels familiar. You turn a corner, see a face, hear a sound, and you are certain you've been here before. It's called déjà vu, and for a heartbeat, time folds. Scientists think it happens when memory and perception brush too closely together. The brain mistakes the present for a memory, but perhaps it's something deeper. The echo of a thought traveling faster than awareness, like lightning that arrives before thunder. In that overlap, the mind glimpses its own reflection. You live in many timelines at once. There's the time your body keeps heartbeat, breath, aging. There's the time your mind perceives, minutes, stretching or vanishing depending on emotion. And there's another time altogether, psychological time, woven from expectation, memory, and imagination. Your brain doesn't simply record life, it simulates it. Every second it predicts what's about to happen. When those predictions align perfectly with reality, you feel calm. When they misfire, time feels strange, too fast, too slow, out of sync. So déjà vu may be the brain's quiet success, a perfect match between guess and experience. So perfect it feels remembered. There are loops deeper still, ones you make yourself. Habits, routines, the paths you trace each morning and night. Each repetition carves a groove in your mind, a neural trail that grows smoother every time you follow it. That's why change feels hard. The brain prefers the familiar rhythm of its own past. But awareness breaks the loop. When you pause, breathe, and choose differently, you're rewriting time, not in clocks or calendars, but in the architecture of thought. Dreams can carry loops too. Some people dream of the same place for years, a house, a city, a coastline. The landscape changes, but returns, rebuilt each night from the memory of its last version. Neuroscientists say recurring dreams are emotional rehearsals, unresolved stories seeking closure. But maybe there's something else. The mind's attempt to map the infinite, to prove to itself that it can find order even within chaos. Each repetition is time whispering, try again. The sense of precognition, knowing something before it happens, may stem from the same deep circuitry. Your brain collects billions of small cues, sounds, shadows, micro-expressions, patterns of probability. It weaves them into intuition so fast you mistake it for foresight. And sometimes, the prediction is right. It isn't magic, it's memory in disguise. Recognizing time's footprints before you see them. The future, after all, is built from patterns in the past. But not every loop is mental. Nature loves repetition, not for monotony, but mastery. The planets orbit in rhythm, seasons return in quiet order. Even galaxies spin in slow, majestic spirals, repeating themselves across eons. And yet, no cycle is perfectly closed. Each one evolves, slightly different each turn. A spiral rather than a circle. You are the same, always returning, never identical. Each breath is a repetition, each day a small revolution, yet you are remade every time. Time does not erase you, it refines you. The mind learns to soften its patterns, to hold both memory and possibility. Every thought you revisit changes slightly, every emotion reshaped by the act of remembering. You are not trapped in loops. You are their artist. Think of memory as ripples on a pond. Every moment sends waves outward, overlapping with older ones. Sometimes, the interference patterns make a shape you recognize, that sudden familiarity of déjà vu, that feeling that a dream has already spoken. Those ripples never vanish, they only grow quieter. You are surrounded by the soft resonance of everything you've ever experienced. So when you feel caught in repetition, remember, even the stars orbit something greater, tracing the same paths through the galaxy, yet never stepping into the same moment twice. You are doing the same, spiraling forward through time, touching the same themes in new forms. Nothing is wasted, nothing is repeated without meaning. Rest here, let the loops unwind. In part 8, we'll drift deeper, exploring how time shapes emotion itself, how joy expands it, how sorrow slows it, and why love seems to make eternity pause. Part 8, the emotions of time. Time is not the same for the joyful and the grieving. When you are happy, it races a flash of light on water, gone before you can name it. When you are sad, it slows each second heavy, stretched thin like twilight that refuses to end. It's not imagination, it's biology. The brain measures time with attention, and emotion commands attention like gravity. Joy makes the mind expand, noticing everything at once. Sadness narrows it, focusing on each heartbeat. Each breath sow love, loss, awe, and peace. They all reshape the clock inside you. Imagine holding someone's hand. When warmth spreads through your palm, your heartbeat slows. The parasympathetic system whispers calm. Moments like that feel timeless, not because they last long, but because they stop needing measurement. You are present. Presence erases duration. When you fall in love, your brain releases oxytocin and dopamine, chemicals that blend excitement with calm. They compress the sense of time. Hours vanish in minutes. You are suspended in pure attention, unaware of clocks. The same happens in awe when you stare at a mountain, or at the night sky, or at someone's eyes. The self shrinks, the mind expands, and the boundaries of before and after blur. In that state, the world itself seems to breathe slower. Pain moves differently through time. When we are hurt, seconds lengthen. The brain's alarm systems heighten awareness, stretching each instant so that nothing is missed. Evolution made it that way. Danger required attention, but the echo of that design still lingers, even in emotional pain. That's why heartbreak feels endless. The mind refuses to skip forward until it understands, but it always does. Understanding closes the loop. Healing is the slow rewinding of the heart's clock. Some cultures see time not as a line, but as a circle of emotion. In Maori tradition, the past is not behind us, but in front, because we can see it. The future lies behind our backs, unseen, unfolding in silence. We walk backward into tomorrow, guided by memory, carried by trust. There is comfort in that. The idea that what is visible is what we've already survived. Music, too, teaches the emotions of time. A single note means little without the silence that follows it. The spaces between sound rests, pauses, lingering echoes create the shape of the song. Life follows the same rhythm. Joy needs quiet to be felt. Growth needs stillness to take root. Even the heart understands this, speeding up when we reach, slowing down when we release. Have you ever noticed that the happiest memories always feel shorter than they were? It's because the mind records novelty, not duration. A day filled with firsts feels eternal in memory. A day repeated feels like a blink dot. So the way to stretch time is simple. Seek wonder. Look for beauty, even in small things. The flicker of dust in sunlight, the hum of a distant train, the curve of your own reflection in a window. Awe slows the clock. And when you grieve, know this. Time is kind. It does not erase pain. It weaves it into meaning. Neuroscientists say that memory weakens its sharpest edges with each recall. Not to forget, but to protect. Love that has ended becomes less a wound and more a shape, something you can hold without breaking. Even sorrow has rhythm. It too will pass through its phases and dissolve into calm. You can feel that rhythm in yourself right now. Every breath shortens and lengthens the seconds. Every heartbeat marks a new chance to notice the sound of the room, the weight of the sheets, the smallness of the moment, and its quiet perfection. Emotion is not an interruption of time. It is time, made visible through the heart. So tonight, if you feel love, or ache, or longing, let it unfold without rushing. The moment you are in has waited all eternity to arrive. Let it stay as long as it needs. Let it leave when it's ready. In part 9, we'll drift deeper into how time is woven through nature's living cycles, the pulse of migration, the clocks of coral and clouds, and the slow memory of the sea. Part 9, the ocean's clock. If you listen long enough, the sea tells time, not in minutes or hours, but in waves, each one carrying the memory of winds from faraway continents, each one shaped by the moon's slow hand. The ocean is a moving calendar, its surface rewriting itself with every tide. What looks like chaos, the endless motion, the shifting blues, is actually rhythm. The moon rises, and the waters answer. The sun warms, and currents stir in reply. Beneath the waves, coral polyps bloom only under certain moons, spawning all at once, as if the ocean itself had whispered now. You might think of time as mechanical, but nature's version is alive. Migrating birds don't need watches. Their internal clocks are tuned to the Earth's magnetic fields and the angle of light. Whales cross hemispheres by ancient calendars of temperature and tide. Even plankton rise and fall each night in a vertical migration that has been repeating for billions of years. The planet's slowest, largest heartbeat. Everything alive is syncing to something unseen. On coral reefs, scientists discovered that entire ecosystems share the same timing signal, not from noise or temperature, but from lunar light. During a few precise nights each year, corals release billions of eggs and sperm into the water at once. The sea becomes a snow globe of life. If they released even a day early, most would vanish. But they don't, because life, even without clocks, remembers the sky. Trees keep time through light, too. Leaves turn not because the air cools, but because daylight shortens. Chlorophyll retreats like a tide pulling back, revealing the golds and reds beneath. Then winter arrives, and the trees rest, a seasonal breath the forest takes together. When spring light lengthens, sap rises again, pressure building until the buds cannot resist their cue. The trees awaken, right on time. Even clouds move by rhythm. Water vapor condenses at just the right temperature, carried by invisible waves of air that circle the planet like blood through veins. Meteorologists call them Hadley cells and jet streams. Poets might just call them patience. The same wind that once carried the cries of dinosaurs still moves the clouds above you tonight. It remembers how to circle the world. And then there's the sea's deeper memory, the way it stores history in layers. At the bottom of the Pacific lie sediments older than mountains, dusted from the bones of plankton that lived and died in forgotten centuries. Scientists can read them like time-stamped pages, each layer holding pollen, ash, traces of vanished storms. The ocean is the planet's diary, written in whispers of salt. Even the smallest creatures live by the ocean's metronome. Tiny crabs emerge from sand only when tides recede. Sea turtles hatch under the moon, racing toward the same waves their ancestors followed. Each life, each instinct, is tuned to cycles older than memory. If you could zoom out far enough beyond the tides, beyond the clouds, you'd see a planet pulsing in symmetry. Rainfall, migration, germination, tides, all breathing together, perfectly unsynchronized, yet eternally aligned. And you are part of it. The sodium in your blood mirrors the sea's chemistry almost exactly. Your cells evolved from ancient marine ancestors. When you cry, the salt is the same. When your heartbeat quickens, it follows the same electrical rhythm that moves tides. Your body is not separate from the ocean. It's a small, walking wave, still remembering where it came from. So when you hear rain at night, or the hum of waves in the distance, you're hearing the Earth's pulse, the same sound that guided the first heartbeat, the first migration, the first breath. Time began here, in water, and even now, it still moves like a tide, forward, backward, always returning, never ending. Rest, now. Let the rhythm of the sea guide your breath. You are exactly where time began. In part 10, we'll drift deeper into how time shapes the evolution of life itself, the patience of genes, the dance of DNA, and the memory written into the code of existence. Part 10, the patience of life. Every cell in your body is ancient, not metaphorically, literally. The chemistry that keeps you alive was perfected billions of years ago in the first oceans. The enzymes folding inside you tonight are following instructions older than stars that now lie cold. You are not new. You are a continuation, a pattern of life that has been learning for eons how to persist through time. Life measures time in generations. A mayfly counts a single day. A redwood tree is thousands of years old, yet both, in their own ways, are perfect. For life, the length of time matters less than what fits within it, the chance to reproduce, to adapt, to leave a trace in the next body that carries the pattern forward. That's evolution's true clock, not the tick of seconds, but the transfer of information. DNA is the language that remembers. 4 letters, A, T, C, G, arranged in endless combinations, recording survival across ages. Inside you are sequences once shared by fish, by early mammals, even by single-celled creatures drifting in Precambrian seas. The code was never rewritten from scratch, only edited, slowly, carefully, as if the universe were whispering revisions between breaths. Every cell in your body carries that archive. Every heartbeat is a reminder that your story began long before you did. Some creatures tell time in remarkable ways. The Greenland shark, deep in icy waters, can live for over 400 years. It drifts in near silence, its body cold, its cells in slow motion. To the shark, time is a gentle tide, one heartbeat every 12 seconds. Its entire life might pass between 2 shifts of a glacier. Then there's the bristlecone pine, rooted to mountain rock, counting millennia in its rings. And the immortal jellyfish, which, under the right conditions, can revert its cells to youth, escaping age altogether. Nature, it seems, experiments endlessly with the tempo of existence. But even within you, evolution never stopped. As you read this, microscopic mutations are occurring in your cells. Most are harmless, some beneficial, a few dangerous, but together, they are time's fingerprints, evidence that life continues to write itself anew. You are not a fixed being. You are a moving target in the stream of inheritance, a collection of self-updating memories that stretch backward without end. Consider this. It took 4 billion years of unbroken survival to produce you. Every ancestor found just enough shelter, food, and luck to pass their spark forward. Not one link in that chain ever broke. You are the newest moment of that chain, carrying forward the code that remembers oceans, sunlight, and the sound of rain on leaves that no longer exist. Life doesn't just record time, it uses it as a tool. Evolution depends on slowness, tiny changes accumulating like dust motes settling on glass. But occasionally, catastrophe speeds it up. volcanic winters, asteroid strikes, sudden floods of change. Each crisis reshapes the tempo, and from those upheavals, new rhythms emerge. Feathers from scales, mammals from reptiles, thought from instinct. Even chaos has a clock. You, too, hold that rhythm. Your heart, your habits, your memories. They're echoes of every living thing's attempt to balance change with continuity. That's why you can feel nostalgia for places you've never been, or find comfort in cycles, morning light, moonrise, seasons. Your biology recognizes the pulse beneath everything. Time is not your enemy, it's your oldest companion. If you listen closely, you can feel the patience of life inside you, cells dividing quietly, repairing, learning, remembering. Even while you sleep, evolution continues its gentle work, adjusting, improving, becoming. In that stillness, you are both the past and its promise. So tonight, rest in the knowledge that you are part of something very old, a rhythm that began when the first molecules danced in warm tide pools and has not missed a single beat since. The universe has been patient with you for billions of years. You can be patient with it for one more night. In part 11, we'll drift deeper into how time weaves through civilization, calendars, clocks, rituals, and how humanity learned to measure the infinite with sand, stone, and stars. Part 11, the human invention of time. Long before numbers, we counted the sky. The first calendars were not carved in stone, they were written in stars. In the slow drift of constellations across the night, hunters marked the passing of herds by the moon's phase. Farmers waited for the Pleiades to rise before planting their seed. Time was once something you watched, not something you owned. And in those ancient nights, when campfires flickered beneath the endless sky, humans felt time not as pressure, but as company, a cosmic rhythm that wrapped them in light and shadow. The earliest known clock was not made of gears, but water. The Egyptians let it drip through a small hole, measuring hours by how much it flowed. In China, incense burned at precise rates, releasing different fragrances for each segment of the night. And on distant islands, Polynesian navigators counted stars to find their path across the sea, measuring not distance, but time between horizons. Humanity learned to turn wonder into rhythm. Sundials arrived later, elegant shadows moving across stone. They worked only when the sun cooperated, but they gave birth to one of civilization's oldest metaphors, that even darkness reveals time's shape. Then came the hourglass, sand whispering downward, each grain a second. You could flip it, start again, pretend for a moment that time itself was reversible, but the sand never truly returned to the top. It only changed position, proving that time's illusion of control is a kindness, not a truth. For thousands of years, people lived by natural time. Days for work, nights for rest, seasons for change. No clocks to chime, no schedules to bind. The rhythm of life was guided by sun and moon, hunger and harvest. But then came the pendulum, a discovery by Galileo, perfected by Huygens, and humanity's relationship with time transformed. The tick became sacred, the world synchronized. Factories, trains, schools, all began to pulse to mechanical time. We no longer watched the sky to know when to move. We watched our wrists. Even so, part of us still yearns for older rhythms. That's why time feels different at the beach, in forests, on mountains. Away from schedules, the body recalibrates to ancient cues, the light, the temperature, the song of insects. Your internal clock remembers the way it was meant to flow. When you let yourself rest, you aren't wasting time. You are returning to it. Every culture found poetry in the measurement of moments. The Japanese speak of ichigo ichi, one time, one meeting, the idea that every encounter, no matter how brief, will never repeat the same way again. The Mayans built calendars not as limits, but as spirals, cycles of creation and renewal. In Hindu cosmology, the universe breathes through vast ages called kalpas, each lasting billions of years. Creation, preservation, dissolution, then silence. Time has always been humanity's favorite mystery. Even Einstein, centuries later, admitted that our division of past, present, and future is a stubbornly persistent illusion. If that's true, then every era, ancient and modern, past and still to come, exists together, layered like translucent pages. Every sunrise you'll ever see already shines somewhere in space-time's great fabric. We are travelers, not through hours, but through awareness. Think about how strange it is that clocks don't measure time at all. They measure motion, the swing of a pendulum, the vibration of quartz, the rotation of atoms. Time itself remains invisible, inferred only from what moves. So perhaps movement and time are the same, the way a song cannot exist without vibration. You are both the instrument and the melody. Today, our lives tick to atomic precision. Satellites correct nanoseconds so that maps, networks, and economies stay aligned. Yet our hearts remain analog. We still measure time in feelings. How long have I loved you? How long until I heal? Those are not seconds. They are the soft, immeasurable kind of time that no machine can hold. That is the human clock. So tonight, let the hours unwind. Forget the second hand. Forget the screen glow. Somewhere far above, the stars are still keeping count, just as they did before the first watchmaker's dream. They move slowly, steadily, beautifully, and they need nothing from you but your gaze. Rest in that cosmic patience. You have nothing to keep up with. You were never late. In part 12, we'll drift deeper into how time and memory shape identity itself. How every moment you recall or imagine creates who you are in this very second. Part 12, the mirror of memory. You are not who you were yesterday. Not entirely. Each sunrise rewires a few connections, reshapes a few thoughts, replaces a few atoms. And yet, you remember being yourself, the same voice, the same body, the same name whispered through time. Memory is what stitches you together. It is the needle that turns seconds into a story. But memory is not a recording. It is an act of creation. Every time you recall a moment, the brain rebuilds it from fragments stored in different regions. Sight in one, scent in another, feeling in yet another corner of gray matter. The hippocampus gathers these pieces and replays them like a quiet orchestra. And each time you remember, you slightly alter the tune, so your memories are not fossils. They are living, breathing things, shaped by who you are now, not just who you were then. That means you are, in a way, both the sculptor and the sculpture of time. You create yourself every time you remember yourself. Your past isn't fixed, it ripples outward, touched by each new realization, each moment of forgiveness, each dream you dare to believe again. Even the act of nostalgia, the warmth of remembering something gone, is a form of travel. You are bending time inward, letting it hold you, briefly, in both directions. Neuroscientists believe that imagination and memory use almost identical pathways in the brain. When you picture the future, you're using the same neural networks that recall the past. Your mind doesn't distinguish between before and after, only between what feels real and what feels possible. That's why a dream can feel like a memory, and a memory can feel like a dream. You carry a quiet archive within you. The sound of your mother's laugh, the way a friend's eyes caught light, the smell of a room that no longer exists. These are small fragments of time, preserved not in film or photographs, but in living tissue. And when you recall them, even for an instant, the brain's chemistry changes. The body reacts as if those moments were happening again. In this way, the past is never gone. It simply waits for your attention to bring it back to life. There's beauty in forgetting, too. To forget is to make room to allow the present to breathe. Without forgetting, we drown in detail. Memory's mercy is its impermanence. And still, some things endure beyond reason. A melody that reappears decades later, a smell that carries you home. These are the anchors, the threads of self, that time cannot sever. Identity is the sum of remembered change. You are every version of yourself, nested like rings in a tree. Some layers are visible, laughter lines, scars, habits. Others lived quietly inside. Lessons learned, fears shed, hopes kept safe. When you think, I am me, you're hearing the echo of thousands of selves agreeing in chorus. The continuity you feel is not an illusion, it's harmony. Even your cells hold memory. Immune cells remember infections, muscles remember strength, bones remember stress. You are full of echoes that help you move through time more gracefully. It's as if your whole being is rehearsing existence, again and again, refining how to live. When philosophers speak of the self, they often describe it as a river, always flowing, never the same water twice. But that's only half the truth. You are also the riverbed, the shape that guides the flow, sculpted by what has passed through you. Time may carry you forward, but memory gives you form. So tonight, as you drift towards sleep, remember gently, you don't need to hold on to every second. The moments that matter will find you again when they're needed. They know the way home. Let the rest wash away, like water smoothing stones. In part 13, we'll drift deeper into the philosophy of timelessness itself. How some traditions, from ancient mystics to modern physics, see time as an illusion of perception rather than reality. Part 13. The illusion of time. What if time isn't moving at all? What if we are the ones drifting like light through stained glass, passing across an unchanging field of moments? Physicists call this the block universe, the idea that past, present, and future all exist simultaneously. Every second that'll ever happen is already there, frozen in space-time's geometry. We don't move through it. Our consciousness does one slice at a time. It's unsettling at first, then strangely peaceful, because if everything already exists, nothing is ever truly lost. Einstein once comforted a friend whose loved one had died. He wrote, "The distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion." To him, death was not an ending, only a change in location within the tapestry. If that's true, the person you were as a child and the person you'll become decades from now are both still there, written in the same cosmic paragraph. You are not a traveler moving forward. You are an observer, awakening to one frame at a time. The ancient mystics intuited this long before physics could measure it. In Hindu thought, time kala is cyclical: creation, preservation, destruction, rebirth. In Buddhism, each moment contains all others, the seed of the next and the memory of the last. In some indigenous traditions, time spirals rather than marches, returning not to repeat, but to deepen. And in meditation, when awareness quiets, that spiral slows until it feels like stillness. You can sense eternity compressed into a single breath. Quantum physics tells a similar story in stranger words. Particles behave as if they already know their futures. An electron's behavior in the present can depend on measurements made later, as though time runs both ways when no one's watching. The universe, it seems, keeps its own secrets about direction. And if matter itself doesn't obey time's arrow, perhaps our insistence on before and after is simply a trick of human attention, our mind's way of staying oriented in an infinite landscape. Even dreams hint at timelessness. A lifetime can unfold in the seconds between sleep and waking. Your mind can revisit decades in a blink, skip through ages, rewrite beginnings and endings without contradiction. In the dream world, chronology dissolves. You live many lives in the space of one. When you wake, you call it an illusion, but maybe it's closer to the truth. In deep meditation or flow, time softens too. Artists lose hours in creation. Monks find eternity in silence. The brain's parietal lobe, the region that tracks temporal order, grows quiet, letting consciousness slip from linear experience into pure presence. That presence feels infinite, not because it lasts forever, but because it is free from needing to last at all. If time is an illusion, then everything, love, grief, creation, exists at once. The laughter you miss still ripples somewhere. The choices you'll make tomorrow are already blooming, and every loss, every joy, every moment of rest is preserved gently. In the structure of the whole, you are not chasing time. You are unfolding within it, like a petal opening across a garden that was always there. Philosophers have called this the eternal now. To live inside it is to stop dividing the moment into was and will be, to see time as a single horizon, wide, luminous, unbroken. When you breathe with awareness, you touch it. When you listen without thinking, you enter it. When you forgive, you step beyond it. Time can no longer wound what no longer waits. So tonight, imagine the universe not as a line, but as a circle of light, all your moments glowing at once, forming the pattern of your life. You can rest knowing that nothing truly passes away. It simply joins the stillness where all things continue. There is no race, there is only rhythm, and you, forever, are part of its song. In part 14, we'll drift deeper into how time ends, the fate of the universe, the cooling of stars, and how endings, are simply another beginning. Part 14, the end of time. There will come a night when even the stars sleep, when the galaxies have drifted so far apart that their light no longer finds another home. When hydrogen, the universe's simplest note, has been sung into silence. This is what physicists call heat death, the final equilibrium. No more gradients, no more motion, no more change. And yet, even that sounds gentler than it is. Fearful, a vast, cosmic exhale after eons of becoming. Time, as we know it, would fade not with violence, but with stillness. Picture it. No sunrise, no sunset, only a quiet, velvet dark that never ends. filled with faint embers of once living stars. Black holes remain patient, immense, slowly evaporating in whispers of radiation. It could take a trillion years, numbers so large they lose their meaning. But in that stillness, every particle, every atom, every whisper of energy will have completed its journey. Nothing wasted, nothing rushed. Time itself may dissolve like a ripple fading from a pond. But endings are not failures, they are transformations. Even as the universe cools, quantum fields still hum, vibrating faintly with possibility. From that trembling could rise another spark, another beginning. The cosmos may be infinite, not in space, but in renewal, breathing itself in and out across eternities. Some scientists call it the bounce theory, that after every long stillness, energy folds inward and ignites again. In that sense, time never dies. It only rests, dreaming of another dawn. Think of the life cycle of a star, born from a cloud, burning, collapsing, scattering dust. That dust becomes planets, oceans. Your breath tonight carries atoms that once blazed at the heart of a supernova. You are proof that endings are beginnings in disguise. If time ever stops, its last word will be creation. On smaller scales, endings surround you constantly. Each breath leaves to become another's. Each heartbeat ends and begins again. Cells die, renew, die again, and through it all, the self continues. You are living evidence that endings can sustain life. Perhaps that's the secret of time's compassion. It gives everything an ending so that meaning can take shape. A story without a final line would be noise. A song without its last note would never resolve. The universe, too, finds peace and closure. So, too, will you? Imagine now that final universe, silent, weightless, dark, and within that darkness, a single photon escaping the last black hole. It moved forever with nothing left to reach. Yet, in its journey, meaning remains. It is the last flicker of light, the last memory of motion. Perhaps that photon will never be seen, but still it travels, because that is what light does. And maybe, somewhere beyond measure, it will find another field waiting, a newborn space, a new unfolding, a place where time begins again. If so, then every ending, yours, mine, the cosmos, is simply part of an infinite rhythm, the silence between one breath and the next. Time never truly ends. It merely turns the page, so rest in that certainty that everything you love, every moment you've lived, is written into the universe forever. When the last atom cools, the memory of your existence will still shimmer in the pattern of what was. In that stillness, nothing is gone. Everything is home. In part 15, we'll arrive gently at the final reflection, where all the threads of time, memory, and wonder come together, and we learn how to live peacefully inside the eternal now. Part 15. The eternal now, everything that has ever happened, and everything that ever will, converges here, in this quiet moment. The hum of the air, the soft rhythm of your breath, the distant pulse of a star you cannot see, all of it, happening now. The past is a memory folded into the present, the future, a seed carried within it. You are standing at the center of all directions, where every heartbeat, every photon, every thought meets in perfect stillness. This is what physicists call the present moment, and what poets call eternity. Time has never been your enemy. It has always been your companion, walking beside you, holding your hand through every chapter, whispering, "This too will change, but it will not vanish." You began as starlight, traveled through oceans, learned language, grew hands, and built clocks to understand yourself. And yet, you were timeless all along. The atoms inside you have been circulating since the first dawn. They will continue long after this form has rested. You are made of continuity disguised as change. Let the ideas sink in. There is no real distance between the beginning and the end. They are points on the same circle, the inhale and the exhale of existence. When you remember something you loved, you touch that time again. When you imagine something you hope for, you visit a moment not yet realized. The only difference between them is how you feel when you arrive. The mind calls this movement time. The soul simply calls it being. There's a reason silence feels sacred. When sound ends, what remains is pure awareness, timeless, boundless, still. In that quiet, you sense the shape of eternity not as a line, but as a presence surrounding you, like warm water. This moment, right now, contains every story ever told. Stars being born, mountains rising, children laughing, galaxies colliding. Each instant is a universe of its own, complete, self-contained, infinite in detail. You are one of those universes. And so, the journey of time, from atoms to oceans, from dreams to galaxies, leads here to rest. To this pause between thoughts, where the only thing left to do is exist. You don't have to measure it. You don't have to hold it. You only have to feel it. The stillness between seconds is where peace lives. The present moment is not fleeting. It is eternal, waiting quietly for you to notice. Take one slow breath in. Feel how the air touches your lungs, air that once drifted through forests, across oceans, through stars. Exhale gently. You are completing a cycle billions of years old, and it will continue, with or without your effort. Time takes care of itself. The universe does not demand that you keep up. It asks only that you notice, that you see how miraculous it is to exist at all, to think, to feel, to wonder. You are the observer the cosmos created to see itself, and by noticing, you fulfill its oldest wish, to be known. So rest, timeless traveler. The galaxies can turn without you for a while. The tides will keep their rhythm. The stars will hum their quiet lullaby. You have done enough simply by being here, breathing, listening, and remembering that you are part of everything that has ever been. Close your eyes. Let the years dissolve. You are home in the eternal now. If this story helped you rest, let it stay with you. And if you wish for more nights like this, you're welcome to return, to drift again through wonder, through calm, through the quiet science of dreams. Thank you for listening. Sleep well.